I want you to think about the last time you held your team accountable. Not hinted at it, not addressed it with the group so you did not have to say it to one person, not soften it so much the point got lost somewhere between the setup and the apology at the end. Actually held the line. Now, tell me honestly, how did you feel when you walked away? Because if the answer is relief followed immediately by anxiety about whether they are upset with you right now, I need you to stay with me. That loop, that cycle of doing the right thing as a leader and then immediately needing to be received well, needing them to still like you, needing the energy on the floor to go back to normal fast as possible, that loop is not a personality flaw. It is what happens when someone gets handed a leadership title without ever being taught the difference between being responsible for your team and being liked by the team. And in retail, that gap shows up everywhere. It shows up when you pull someone aside and spend more time cushioning the feedback than delivering it. It shows up when you let something slide on a Friday because the team has already had a hard week and you do not want to be the thing that makes it worse. It shows up when you write someone up and then spend the rest of the shift going out of your way to make sure that they know that you value them. It shows up when you apologize, not for being wrong, for leading. And your team feels every single bit of it, not because they are paying attention, because they are always paying attention. They see the shift in your energy after a hard conversation. They watch to see if the line you just held is still going to be there tomorrow, or if enough time, enough attitude will move it. And every time it moves, your authority moves with it. I spent over 10 years managing retail floors, and I will tell you something I am not proud of. I was the manager who apologized, not because I was wrong, because I needed the room to feel okay again, because I had convinced myself that a good leader keeps the peace, that if my team was uncomfortable, something had gone wrong, that the measure of a good conversation was whether everyone walked away feeling fine. And my floor reflected every single bit of that belief. Inconsistent standards, team members who knew exactly how much pushback it took to move the line. Accountability conversations that happened once and never got followed up on because following up felt like picking a fight. Until I learned the thing that nobody told me when I got promoted. Being liked and being respected are not the same thing. And in leadership, you rarely get both at the same time. Here's what I know now that changed everything. Your team does not need you to make accountability feel comfortable. They need you to make it feel inevitable. Inevitable means the standard does not change based on the day you are having. It does not soften based on how someone receives it. It does not disappear because someone went quiet or gave an attitude or made floor feel tense for the rest of the shift. Inevitable means when you say something is going to happen, it happens. When you set a standard, it applies to everyone in that building, including the people you like the most. When you have a hard conversation, you close it and you move forward and do not spend the next 3 hours managing emotional aftermath like it was your fault for bringing it up in the first place. Because here's what accountability without apology actually looks like on a retail floor. It looks like pulling someone aside, being direct, being specific, and being clear about what happens next. Then going back to running your floor as normal, not checking in 5 minutes later to make sure they are okay, not making a joke to break the tension, not softening up, following up because the first conversation felt too heavy, just leading. And managers who do this, the ones who hold the line the same way on a Thursday afternoon when they are exhausted as they held it on a Monday morning when they were ready, the ones whose teams know exactly where the standard is because it has never moved, those are the managers their teams complain about. Those are the managers their teams respect. Not because their teams always agree with them, but because their teams always know where they stand. And knowing where you stand is one of the most stabilizing things a leader can give a team, especially in retail, where everything else is already unpredictable. Your team does not need a best friend on the floor. They need a leader who means what they say every single time. If you have been leading from a place needing from your team to be okay with every decision you make, I want you to hear this. You are not a bad person for wanting them to like you. You are a human being who has been handed one of the hardest jobs in retail with zero framework to hold people accountable without feeling like a personal attack. This is not a character flaw. This is a missing system. And I built something for exactly that. The Hard Conversation Framework is free. It is built specifically for retail managers, and it walks you through exactly how to hold the line without guilt spiraling afterwards. Click the link in my bio and grab it right now. Drop a yes in the comments if you ever apologized your way out of a conversation that needed no apology, because the comment section is about to tell you everything you need to know on how managers are living in that same loop right now. Follow for more. The work starts here.